we have the founder of SoCalTech.com. Ben is a really influential person here in Southern California. And why don't you tell them a little bit of your story, who you are?
Yeah, so SoCalTech.com is a website that tracks high tech in Southern California. So it actually sort of started in a strange way. It was a hobby of mine. I came up with a big list of companies, put it up on my website, a personal website, and so many people went to the website that I made it its own website, SoCalTech.com. And eventually someone said, I want to pay you to send this out. And I was going, oh, okay, you'll pay me for my hobby, that's great. And it started making more money than my day job, and it's just been organic since then. So.
What was your day job?
My background's in engineering. I've got an electrical engineering degree from USC.
So what was the most rewarding moment so far?
You know what, every day is rewarding for me, and that's why I do it, is I just love talking to the companies and learning about what they're doing and seeing what kind of innovative things people are doing.
What particular part of the process is rewarding for you?
The best part of the process is just talking to entrepreneurs.
From '98 till today, right?
Right.
Was there any change in beliefs, right, from when you're an engineer to now that you've done this for many years?
From when I started doing this till now, what's really changed is I understand that you can build the best product and you still can't be successful, because you can be building it in the wrong direction. You need to know what the market is and how to deliver it and manufacture it.
Speaking of market, right, timing, and how things are going, what do you think the current trend is?
Given the financial markets and where people are right now, I think people are really a lot more focused on building businesses that are scalable, that are not relying on an acquisition. Being acquired is not a very sure thing anymore.
Okay.
So you need to make sure you build a business that's sustainable. You got to build the company to be a company, as opposed to build a cool technology hoping that someone thinks it's some neat to pick up. And well, that doesn't happen that often. If you look at the stats, the number of companies that think they're going to get bought by Google far exceeds any possible number that Google would buy.
Do you have any specific examples of what kind of companies actually meet that kind of criteria?
Some of the companies that have been successful in Southern California are those kind of companies, where they were not built to be built as a buyout candidate. Well, a couple of companies that I mentioned are Lower My Bills, which made money. It started in the dot-com bust, and even though they couldn't get funding, despite that, they were successful and they were bought for hundreds of millions of dollars because they made money.
Let's actually walk through a thinking process. So say if I have really cool technology, right? How would you go about, say, analyzing the market potential before we go out and seek for funding and so forth?
Yeah, I think the thing that people don't do, entrepreneurs don't do often, is go and talk to customers first. Without that, you don't really have a way of being funded. Most venture capitalists, there's a lot of ideas, but very few people who actually get funded because they haven't talked to customers and haven't figured out how do you use that.
So it's really important to talk to customers, right? And there is a challenge from the innovator's perspective. They don't necessarily know who the customers are. Even if they do, who do they talk to? How do we actually get to these people?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. The most successful companies, as I've seen, are the ones who have some industry knowledge. They understand the customers. So it's hard to just come up with something out of the blue that's very successful. If you have come up with something, you think there's an industry that you'd like to talk to, usually the best thing is to go and get involved in conferences and groups that are in that industry. That's really, I think, one way to do it.
Many innovators that I know protect their ideas. Well, what happens most of the time is that they get into this analysis paralysis. What kind of risk should be considered before embarking on a business idea as an entrepreneur? Talking
to a lot of people who work with entrepreneurs and startups, the number one problem that early entrepreneurs have is they don't want to share their idea. But the barrier to entry is not your idea, but your execution. It's going and actually taking that idea and making it into a business. Most of the people that I talk to in the startup area are very willing to share what they're doing. Okay, so Ben, if people are interested in finding out more about SoCal Tech, in state, where should they go? The best thing to do is just go to the website, SoCalTech.com, and there's news, interviews, there's a calendar of events, and a database of companies, which is the best place to get information about who's being funded and other information about companies in the area. So People tell us it is the best place around to get information about Southern California's technology industry.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Ben. You have been really, really helpful. And yeah, all the best to SoCal Tech.
Right.
Continued success to you.
Thanks.